Alchemy, which is the hidden secret language, is the language of the soul. It's an inner mystery, so it's really nothing to do with how this world is regarded. The matrix, all these dualities, it's completely an internal quest. And everything I've done is like, why am I trying to bring this language? How am I going to assist people in having an experience? Well, we'll call it a Grail quest. And the first thing any student wants is a direct experience and an answer. And from that, then I would say the Grail quest is, who am I and what am I doing here? And how am I going to best proceed when I've answered that? Who am I? And that's what the spiritual quest is. It takes all the mystery out of it. Wherever path, whatever you use, whatever technique. But we're going to erase all the ways you're supposed to do it and produce something that's so radical, which is, once you get the code, you can recreate the field. You can actually recreate a new life. But in that, you have to cleanse something and let something go while you build. So the field basically is 0, 1, and it represents past, present, and future simultaneously. Well, people say, well, we've done the past, so obviously the past isn't really what's happening. The present is the only moment we have. All of this field is penetrating. All of humanity is in a transition. And everybody's feeling this impulse, they just don't know what to do with it. Feeling that things are changing, it's really, really confusing. The old world, and look at this lie that's been going on, and this deceit. These people are lying. Why is everything lying? Why is it so painful? In the Grail mystery, it's called the wound. The king is wounded. So, I'm taking archetypes out of the myth. What does it mean for the wound? Well, who's the king? The divine authority within. We all have one. So, you call on your own divine authority. Once you're plugged in to that field, it'll reveal to you directly. So we're erasing all hierarchies, all knowledge systems. Just like, oh, I should do this, I should repeat this mantra and I'll get enlightenment, and I should follow this teacher, I should pay these teachers. Surely they know the way, and I don't. You know the way, it's inside you, it's completely encoded from the beginning. And it came in a future blueprint of your soul. It came out of a higher field. It's not in the third dimension. So the Grail is a field of all this information was streaming out of the heart of the sun. And the earth is going through a huge mutation, a huge transmutation. And two things are coming up. Fear is coming up, and people love. Those are the two opposing fields, like love and fear, love and fear, love and fear. And people, well, what is love? Love's loving somebody and possessing something, and she's mine. Doesn't seem to work. So we're cultivating an alchemical container that turns everything inside out, and it's radical. If you receive the impulse, it's radical. Because it doesn't work from this third dimension. And all the prophets and sages and masters have been saying, this is an illusion, this is a story. It's Groundhog Day. Every day you're time, space, money, governed by fear and attachment. Very basic principles. So if we're going to describe it, my thesis as an alchemist is language. If language, and especially English language, created the world as we know it, from economics to you name it, It's a common thing, language. So, archetypes, energetic fields, original seed patterns, myth and story. Myth and story, everybody wants a story. Myth is the archetypal world. Myth is much more real than history. History is just past chronologization of events based on somebody's interpretation. A living story is how does it embody as principle. So, the alchemist of myself, of all this experience of how to transmute energy. So alchemy is the field of transmutation, how you change from the base metal into the golden state. We could call it enlightenment, but regardless, it's the essence. How can we discover the essence? Through a process of refinements, a process of letting go of old ways and purify them through a sacred language of fire, internal work. Really, really deep stuff. But the codes, everything I've learned, I can assimilate all the way down into about 12 basic keys and codes as an operating manual. It's like, if you practice these codes, you're going to have an experience. I guarantee it. Just from one code. So, the alchemy of the soul, a language of light. So that's my grail, a language of light. It's just pure light and fire in that ring. First ring. Language of light and fire. Everything's seen in light. What you see is what you get. If you see the future, you'll learn to bring it down. The sword, the sacred word, the power of the word. In the beginning was the word. Everything's done through words and agreements. Even all contracts that are still done with the marriage vow, everything's always done through a word. People still have conversations. The masters of deception still meet in council and describe their nefarious ends to rule the world from the top of the pyramid of the World Bank. It's done in person through words and agreements. That's how powerful our word is with each other. And then the stone, tone, sound. So this tapestry is operated by three principles: light, sound, and story. And then on the fourth ring, whatever I say in that field, if I say Christ or Buddha or Kuan Yin or alchemy, that keynote of language has a meaning, an essential meaning, not just, so that's how we communicate. It's all overlaid in the Tower of Babel with really a lot of confusion, but there's an original meaning. So if we can discern that, and the bottom line is it's all truth. Truth is, illusion is temporary, so we've lost the orientation map. We think the orientation map is the third dimension. This is the result that is projected, and we can't get out of it. And all the great masters have been saying, go within, go within, go within, go within. And they're all saying, I'm the one. Because they found the keynote. I am. Whatever they are, even if they're false teachers, they're like, oh. So, I am is the key to this language. And there are 7, in all these charts that were revealed, there were 7 original fields of creation. So here's the ring, here's the flame, here's the vertical axis. It's a chi field. And here's 7 rings, each representing a color. So it's a 7-fold process. You're a human of many colors. You have a rainbow garment. The inner body is a body of light. The outer body looks like a physical body. So when you start turning the field around, it reveals to you directly. This is why I was talking to Daniel, like you write, I'm going to give some seeds. It has its own progression, but then fear comes up. What do you do with fear? You cleanse it. Because the truth sets everything free. So it sets all the genetic memory of, I've been lied to. So we talked about this the other day, like, I've been lied to, so I'm going to get angry. You're going to get angry. You've been lied to on every single dimension. That's why it's all closed down. So we have serious work to do in how to purify the field in order to have this living revelation of what the Grail is. And that is why I'm using all the esoteric mysteries that I've learned from Saint Germain, like bringing in the violet all-consuming fire of transmutation, the transmutation flame, like you just bring it in. I'm calling it in. It comes in because it's universal code. It operates here from your personal choice and your personal invocation. It can't. If you don't use the key, you don't open the door of the mystery. It's very fluid and very free. But fear will be the thing that you're always having to do. But on one level, how do you transmute fear to build the new? You have to do both in order to move into the new. The future is a blueprint. It comes from the soul dimension in a higher field. It's a fifth dimensional field, and I can demonstrate that. And I think we should just do a cut right now, because that's like a little enough of a download.